So I've used 14 different running shoes since the turn of the year, but there are 8 in particular that have taken the bulk of the miles. So welcome back to another video, and today I want to share with you guys my most used running shoes so far in 2024. So we approach the end of March, we are a quarter of the way through the year, and I thought I'd share with you the rotation that I've been using. It's changed as I've gone through this marathon block, and I'm excited to share the numbers and the stats with you. So coming in at number 8 is the Saucony Kinvara 14, 3 runs and just over 30 miles. Now there are some big heavy hitters in this list, but I did want to include everything over 2 runs because 2 runs is usually just testing phase. Everything over that is where they've kind of slotted into the rotation and got some more miles. Now the Kinvara would have had plenty more miles, but we kind of switched end of January into early February with marathon training where we were logging more longer miles. So this took a lot of the first half of marathon training in the first 20 weeks and that right up to sort of 12-week mark, but then things changed. So this got some good early miles and all 3 of those runs were indeed workouts. And the Endorphin Speed 4 comes in at number 7. 4 runs totaling just over 46 miles, and those runs were 1 easy and 3 moderate runs. So now I'm classing moderate runs as some of the medium long runs that I'm doing in training as well, and I'm not labelling those as specific long runs. They've got a separate category in themselves, but they tend to be around 80 or 90 minutes. Plenty more miles for this thing coming up in this training block and moving forwards. This has been a gem of a shoe, absolutely really enjoying it, along with the Mach 6, which is featuring very shortly. I'm pleased with the updates on this shoe. Yes, it's gained weight, but I feel like the heel slip issue has been resolved. I've not had any issues so far, and it's just doing what the speeds have done so well over the years. I've enjoyed the 1, the 2, the 3 and the 4, and although at the 3 it kind of changed slightly, I'm finding good use for this shoe for those sort of medium long runs and moderate work. So easy and moderate stuff so far, but I can guarantee you there'll be a workout or 2 thrown in for this thing. And the Mach 6 comes in at 6th place, 4 runs once again, around 34-ish miles. It's the one shoe I don't have with me, but if I've been recording this video tomorrow, it will have 5 runs because it is going on my medium long run with me later today. Now this shoe, again, this is possibly my favourite shoe of the year so far. It's right up there, extremely enjoyable, and for me, money well spent when I bought that shoe. For me, the Mach 4, when I used that one, was all about easy and moderate miles, and the 6 really hasn't changed. Nice and lightweight, lovely and comfortable, loving the cushion, loving the extra stack height on that shoe. And I did a video recently between the Endorphin Speed 4 and the Mach 6, and I have to say, although I feel the Speed 4 is a more universally friendly shoe, the Mach 6 right now just edges it as my favourite. Again, one of those shoes that I feel non-plated but just super cushioned, lovely but still really lightweight. So again, that one's come into my rotation within the last month, plenty more miles for that one to come. So coming in 5th place is the On Cloud Monster 2. Now I've got 3 shoes all with 5 runs, so this is now going to be divided by mileage, or sorted by mileage I should say. So 38 miles in this shoe. Look at the state of it. This was bright white and now it is, well, shall we say, trail covered. Let's call it that. This is a brilliant shoe. I'm really surprised at how much I'm enjoying it, to the point where I'm gravitating towards it for a lot of my easy runs at the moment. And although I've got plenty of other shoes that I want to kind of push the mileage up on, I am finding at the moment that this thing is really cushioning the feet nicely. Yes, it is on the heavier end of the spectrum, but I'm fast learning why so many people enjoyed the Monster lineup. Now, when I produced my Monster video, a lot of people were commenting saying, yep, I loved it, or some people were saying, I never understood the hype. I am definitely in the camp where I understand the hype. Although this is very bulky and very big, I am finding my legs to be so fresh when I come off the back of running in this thing that it is an absolute dream. And that is exactly what you want in marathon training. So once again, watch this space, plenty more miles to come for this one. And then moving on from that one, in 4th place is the Saucony Ride 17. This has slightly more miles, just over 40, and again, easy and moderate is the name of the game for this one. So slightly more versatile than the Monster, but I have to be honest with you, I've been going for the Monster for the easy stuff. At the moment, I wanted to, I think I said in a video recently, I was going to move this just to easy miles so that I could use my Max and my Speed 4s for my moderate stuff. but this thing handles moderate really well as well. Got it tail end of last year, absolutely brilliant shoe, and the foam is what makes this thing. Tail end of last year, again, I did a marathon pace workout in this shoe, or just threw some marathon pace work in there, and it handled it beautifully. I believe the second heaviest shoe in this lineup, but possibly one of the most versatile. Very close to 100 miles as well, so I have to squeeze in a couple more runs to get it to that magic number, drop a review, but then some of the other shoes are going to have to take precedence. And then that leaves the On Cloudboom Echo 3 for third place, another 5 runner, but we're talking 55 miles here, because this has taken workouts. Every single one of those runs, those 5 runs, have been workouts. In the first half of this block, I used this combined with the Kinvara all through November and December, I should say, sorry, December and January. And then as things flipped and we really started doing some of the longer work, the Kinvara got shelved, but this one stayed in and took those workouts out on the concrete. I have been really enjoying this shoe, and although for me this doesn't cut it as a racer, there's lighter options, better options and snappier options. This gives me what I want from a workout shoe. Yes, there's a plate in there, and I do try and avoid plates where I can, but I did get carried away earlier in the year, end of January, early February, with using plated shoes quite a bit. And this was one of the main reasons why. Super enjoyable, on the firmer end of the spectrum, but one of those shoes that I just couldn't put down. For the moment I have, because we're getting right into the close bit of London. We're within 4 weeks now, so whether I'll use this one again in this block, who knows, but it has been a brilliant servant throughout the last few weeks. And the Brooks Hyperion Max comes in second place, 11 runs and 135 miles. It wouldn't be a top list of running shoes from my perspective without one of these in there, would it? I mean, this thing is brilliant, and this is obviously the second pair that I've owned. So I bought it at the beginning of this marathon training block because the last marathon training block I had so much success with this shoe. I'm always looking for a shoe that is super versatile, lightweight, good stack, that can do a lot of long runs, because I do try and avoid plated shoes in some of the long runs. When I get closer to the day, I do find that using some super shoes are useful for me to get used to it. But when I'm doing the bulk of my mileage, I want something that's not going to be quite as harsh on the Achilles and the calves. And this one ticks all the boxes. Over 200 miles in this thing now. As I said, shoe number 2. This is, if I could have any shoe, just one shoe, this is the one for me. It's been brilliant. And as I said, this has taken just one easy run. The rest have been moderate runs and long run workouts. And coming in top spot is the Novablast version 4. 14 runs. I can't put that many numbers up on my hand. 14 runs at 74 miles. Unbelievable, considering it's a shoe that I got to 100 miles and just went, do you know what? No more. I'm not enjoying this shoe. This is a shoe that, I'll be honest with you, it's okay. It's mediocre, it's good at best, but I've got better shoes in my rotation and I've been enjoying more shoes. So all those runs, every single one of those 14 was pure easy runs. So the versatility on this thing isn't that great. I remember putting the miles in because it was a shoe I wanted to kind of get to 100 miles and really see if it made a difference. I've taken great pride in previous versions of Novablast in getting them up to a big number, whether it's 300, 400 or 500 miles. Those reviews are on the channel from previous versions, but this one I just have absolutely no desire to do it. There's just better shoes out there now, and I think this one's gone stale, and a lot of you guys hit the nail on the head. The Superblast came out, and I think they've kind of nerfed this one slightly. So although it hits the top spot, it's definitely not my favorite shoe in this list. So those are the 8 that I've used the most of, but the other 6, we're talking 3 plated shoes, the Endorphin Pro 4, the Next Percent version 2 and the Next Percent version 3. The Pro 4 and the version 2 have been used twice, the version 3 once, and you don't expect to see those 2 regularly in there. The only super shoe I had regular use of was the On Cloudboom Echo 3. I just find that shoe a little bit less harsh on the calves and Achilles and stuff, so that's why that one was in there. But I have done some workouts and long runs in those others. And then we're talking about the Merrell Morphlite, which I haven't done a review on the channel, but I have tested, the Guide 17 and the Puma Velocity Nitro 3. And the Velocity Nitro 3 screams at me because it is such a wonderful shoe, but I've got so many other wonderful shoes as well that one once again has just had to be put to the side while I test other shoes. And to be honest with you, I have found that I've been enjoying those other shoes slightly more than that one. So some great shoes that I've tested, but those are my top 8. So I'd love to hear down in the comments below what your favourite shoes of this year have been so far. Have you managed to snag any new pairs, or are you still using versions from last year? I've got a good mix in there, and to be honest with you, As you can see, I've got some good regulars and some new faces in there. So I'd love to know what your favourites have been, especially if you're marathon training. Do drop a comment and let me know what your go-to shoes have been. What is hogging all the mileage? What is taking all the limelight? Do let me know. It'd be great to hear your choices. That's it from me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please do consider giving it a like, share it with your friends, and of course, subscribe to the channel for weekly running content. And I'll see you on the next one.